All right, we're on.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Melissa. How are you today?
Doing good, and you?
I'm good. I'm good. Lori, we got you on too, right?
Yes. Hi, guys. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
Hi. Well, Lori, I'm so excited to introduce you to our guest speaker, Melissa Weathersby, for the Body and Soul Retreat. Melissa comes in. She's an author. She's a coach. She's a mentor. She's a leader. She's a pretty amazing lady, and I'm excited to call her my friend, and I'm excited for you to get to come and meet her at the next retreat coming up just in a little less than 2 weeks. Yay. Melissa, this is Lori Hess, and Lori owns Diva Exchange, an online website for ladies involved in fitness competitions and health and nutrition. And so Lori comes in from Chicago, and she'll be coming in for the Body and Soul Retreat as well. So I'm excited for you guys to actually get to meet.
That sounds fun. Our summers are a little bit different, Lori. If you haven't been to San Antonio in June or July, you'll see what that's about.
I haven't that far south. I went to school outside Dallas. That's about as far south as I got.
Okay, yes.
So is it going to be a little bit hotter?
A little bit hotter and a little bit more humid, and yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
maybe we'll have,
bring extra water.
There you go. Yeah.
maybe we'll have the perfect summer day for Saturday and Sunday.
I pray it will be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited for you guys to get to meet in person. Thank you, Melissa, for taking time for our Zoom here and sharing a little bit about your experience with the Body and Soul the last 2 retreats. So, Lori, as you know, I have asked Melissa to come in and speak at the Nutrition for Body and Soul seminar. And I got to meet Melissa a few years back. And before I actually met her, I was handed one of her books that we hand out at the retreat as well. It's called Are You Resting Your Blessings? And I fell in love with Melissa before I ever met her. And look at me, I get emotional just talking about her book because it really was a time in my life when the book was made such an impact on me personally. And there were some things that I read in her book that confirmed where I was in my walk with the Lord, in my, just in my personal walk through life. And there's some things that I just walked through that were pretty challenging. So it was a very impactful book for me. And I absolutely love sharing Melissa and her story and her book with the ladies at the last few retreats. So I'm excited if you get to hear a little bit from Melissa. So I'll quit talking now.
Well, coming down the retreat is my first time coming down. Melissa, I know you have this book, and I know of the book, and I just learned the title of the book, so I'm excited to get it at the retreat. Well, can you just kind of share, what kind of is the main point of the book, or what's the main message in the book that we're getting?
Certainly. Well, first of all, Monica, thank you again for having me. At least I must be saying something okay that I'm being invited to come back before 3P. And I don't take any of this for granted. I know that my steps are ordered by the Lord. I know that. And this book, I think, is also confirmation because as an author, and this was my first go at it, the book is now on 6 continents. So I'm pretty impressed that when God, when we obey or do what he asks us to do, even if it's uncomfortable, to share, really deep, some deep things, that we just do it and it works out and it can help so many people. But to answer your question, Lori, the book, Are You Resting Your Blessing, has the subtitle and it says, are you waiting on God or is God waiting on you? And when I worked in a ministry in Dallas, when I lived there for a very short time, I had just been divorced. Well, I shouldn't say I was just divorced. I thought I was going to leave San Antonio and just get out of here because of some things that I'd gone through and just needed a fresh start. Didn't realize that the Lord was taking me out of my environment, my comfort zone. And really I had 3.5 years of some alone time and it felt very uncomfortable. It was a little wilderness experience is what I call it, but it was a fine tuning also. And so I used to cry out in prayer and just ask, Lord, why are your people, what are we doing? Like, why are so many of believers seemingly oppressed? And he said, my people arrest their blessings. They arrest my hands. And so, The book gives 5 keys of areas that we might be unaware of that cause blockage or delayed answers in our prayers. But the gist of the book is that God loves us. He's always loved us, that he knew us before we knew him, and he's been wooing us and loving us through from the time of before we were even conceived. But that there are things that hinder him because he can't go against his own word. And so there's just certain scriptures and things that I talk about. I give my testimony throughout the book, and kind of real life practical examples of what I'm talking about. Also, the book is a short read. It's not going to take you 10 years to like read the book, or you don't have to be a theologian, or it's not like super deep. And I know it can help so many people. And what I really like about this conference that Monica put together is really, we need to understand that we're triune beings. Okay, we're made up of we have a body, and then we have a soul. That's where our mind, our thoughts, our will, what motivates us to do certain things, or we might get stuck in our own mindsets also. That's our soul, our soulish realm. But then we have a spirit. So we are 3 parts. And if you ignore any of those parts, then you're going to have a problem in your life. And I like how Monica brings it together, because strong body, strong mind, or it should be. You should have a very strong mindset, confidence, those kinds of things if your body is strong. Or if you have a very strong mind with a weak body, then you've got some other issues too. But your spirit, you cannot negate the power of a spirit, a healthy spirit. Sometimes we need to detox that spirit, just like we do our bodies, and we have to have an awareness of that. And that's why I think this conference is so important. It's so key, because Mo really kind of brings it all home, and she does it in a fun way. There's no pressure. If there's stuff that you can't do, then don't do it. She doesn't judge. There's no, there's ladies of all fitness categories, from beginner to, world stage. So I just think it's a great thing. And I think that, again, the spiritual component, I'm an ordained pastor, I'm an ordained apostle. I wear a prophetic mantle, but no, I'm not going to come in there and start preaching to anybody. I just want to give my testimony. And sometimes God will bring us packages that we don't necessarily recognize, because we think that maybe we're just women or average, and that's not so. It's never been the case, but we have to recognize that. And that's why I think this conference is important, to kind of, let's take a look at all parts so that we're working and we're maximizing our life.
So when you're going to speak to all of us. So is this what you're going to kind of touch on, all those keys and kind of bring that all together, just what you talked about just now?
Yes, I'm going to be talking about each of the keys, and also a little bit about understanding. I think we need to understand our identity. Who are we? Who we are, and how the parts all work together. Because sometimes I think people steer away from God, or the God discussions, that they feel like, oh, it's so personal, that they don't, that's too much or whatever. We're not here to preach or try to get anybody to convert, or if whether you're a believer or not. That's not what we're doing. We're just really bringing an awareness, and really the conversations are so, they've just been so comfortable and so, I think, enlightening. I think I just want to really talk about how God spoke to me, what I went through, being a divorced person, single lady, trying to have a business, and how God took, my real estate business and mortgage business through everything. And so just to kind of give a fun, it's fun, y'all. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, she's coming here to preach. She's going to make me recite some scriptures, or it's not anything like that. It's very real. And I think that's what makes this even better, because we can be comfortable. This is a comfortable time. It's a comfortable discussion. It's not all day, but it does touch on, again, we're 3 parts, and let's talk about our spirit. Let's just talk about maybe those that are either afraid of God or mad at God, or whatever it is that's happened. Let's just kind of talk about how, things that happen in our lives that could be very traumatic. This can be a very, I think, significant time of healing. I think this part is a healing component, and I've seen a lot of tears, a lot of release that happens during this. So I think it's great.
Well, it's interesting that I'm sitting here across from you, because my story background with religion, actually, I grew up about 7 years old to into my early 20s, it was kind of a cult. It was very legalistic. So for me personally, I was like, for years, I couldn't even open the Bible again. So in my spirituality, and I do believe in God and whoever, people call it whatever they, universe or source or whatever, but that God piece. And for me, like, to come to the retreat, like I go to church, it's not maybe not consistent, but it's about stepping through maybe perhaps something that, in my past and my experience, and to kind of reopen myself to God again. And where, with coming to the retreat, having an open mind and just kind of taking and seeing what happens. And like you said, maybe the tears will flow, and just having a really growth experience. So that's my intention, for coming. And, I appreciate the whole piece of it all, because there's so many people out there that are in different areas, their beliefs and spirituality, where God is. And the retreat, I know what Monica's doing is very open to everyone.
Yes. And that's the big thing too. And I've been through the whole church hurt and really shunned away from all of that. And this is not anything like that. We are the church, really. I mean, that's how I see this. This is not about, oh my gosh, you don't attend or you don't belong or what do you, all that stuff. I kind of talk about some of that too. And in my book too, I talk about just the divorce and what it did to me, and really with how the church treated me throughout that too. I mean, when I look back, I think, man, I should have just took off. I just ran. It had nothing to do with anybody anymore, but it didn't happen that way. But God brought me somewhere where he could be very intimate with me and really talk about his heart too, because that's the other thing. People don't realize that he's a person. He feels. And he misses us when we're gone, or he's looking out for us, and we need to have a relationship, not religion. And I think Monica beautifully laces it all together in that manner, that we don't have to feel like we're being ostracized or we're being judged. This is not that. This is just another component of wellness and wholeness.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I just, I'm sitting here trying not to cry.
Don't make me cry either. I don't want to cry today. My makeup's all right.
I got some goosebumps a couple times too. So. Or God bumps, they call them.
God bumps, yeah. Well, this was just such a heart of mine, is to have women come and have a chance to step out of their comfort zone in every area. And I tell women all the time, you just can't do walking lunges and bicep curls and have a complete heart and body and mind. You were saying, the three part of us. So. I just want women to come, like you said, have an open mind about this, be willing to be challenged on every level. It's not just about challenging their body. We have to challenge our spirit. We have to challenge our mind. We have to challenge everything. And I think daily, even if it's a small challenge, some days, there are going to be bigger challenges for us in life. But, if we don't set ourselves up for challenges and we just take the easy route all the time, when something really happens in life, people fall apart. That's when people can't withstand. It's like somebody not working out for 2 months, 3 months, and then going in and trying to lift heavy squats. They're going to break something, hurt something, right? So that's what happens in life. Like, people don't challenge their mind. They don't challenge their spirit. They don't challenge their self to be stronger in every area. And so when life happens, they don't know where to go, and they crumble. And
I see that too with, like what you're saying, as far as even the hard stuff, the challenging stuff that breaks us. Sometimes God breaks us to make us. Sometimes we got to be broken of what ain't working and call it what it is, and stop pretending that, hey, I can do it my way. Well, his way is typically better than ours. And we have to go the long way around the mountain, 40 years worth, when it should have only taken 11 days because we don't want to listen. But again, I see that even the same, like with strength training, there's some tests, man. You don't know how strong you are till it's time for you to take the test. And most of us don't realize that when we're being tested, or all the times when we're tested, the teacher is usually very quiet. teacher's not talking. The teacher's waiting to see if we know what we're supposed to know. And then fortunately with God, we never fail. We just get to retake it, right? We just never pass to the next grade. So you can't skip grades either. You got to just keep being tested. But it's those tests, I feel like you said, even in strength training, because I guess I don't know all the physiology. That's why I like to come to you guys and listen to what you know, the breaking down of tissue or fibers. And that's why you have to rest, so that because it's making you strong. But I don't think a lot of us understand, even spiritually, it's the same thing, that those tests are really, and sometimes you got to rest. You can't keep running. Like some of us have been running for years, and God's been trying to get us to say, hey, wait a minute. So I think it's, again, this conference really, for those that have been on the fence about it or think that maybe this is a little out of their comfort zone, we don't make anybody feel uncomfortable. I think it's a time for me really to just keep giving my testimony, to talk about how real it is. And again, if you don't have that part of your life, there's still you won't be balanced. And I think, again, living a full, whole, healthy life, we have to hit all those components.
I agree. Well, I'm excited to see you again, Melissa.
I'm excited forward to it. Lori, I can't wait to meet you. I can hear about all the good stuff. How you overcame, because you're an overcomer apparently, if you came through all that and you're still smiling, because a lot of people aren't. They're not smiling.
Last year we took the cake. It was great. Yeah, I mean what I find is in those moments and shifting your thoughts and look, I get to gain more clarity out of this. I get to grow from this. I get to learn from this and arc that energy back to me rather than pointing fingers and blaming, So I guess one of my life passions has been my own personal growth over the years. So yeah, wow. I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy days, and we're going to see each other in less than 2 weeks. So, all right, everyone. Well, you ladies have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll be sure and sharing the recording here when I get it uploaded.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Monica. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.